Hello everyone, it's Prajwal Pathak this side and watching my YouTube channel pyGuru. Friends, in today's tutorial we are going to create a WhatsApp bot which will help us to run Python on WhatsApp. Okay? So I already uploaded a short video regarding the preview or the demo of our bot. Many of you requested for the source code and the setup video, so here it is. So let's get started with the coding part of our bot. Okay. Now again, if you haven't watched the video or if you don't know what we'll be building by the end of this tutorial, you can just click the GitHub link in the video description, and here is the link for the demo bot. Okay, so this is how we will be run. This will show you what we'll be building by the end of this tutorial. Now, so let's get started with the coding part of it. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to just create a folder. You can just create your folder by any name. Here I have created my folder by the name Python WA. Now here are a few features of our bot that we will be building. So this will help us to run any of our Python code instantly. We can just write a code on Python, WhatsApp, and it will just give us the output. It will also help us to install packages from pip, and it will also available with the chatbot support. Okay, if you just send a regular question, it will also try to give you that answer. Okay, so this is how it will be working. So yes, so this is it. So this is the thing that we'll be building. So the next thing that you have to do is you have to just clone this repo on your system. If you install git, you already know how to clone it. You can just type git clone and just paste this URL of the repo. Okay, otherwise if you don't have repo git install, you can just click this download zip and it will create a zip file on your system. So I have already downloaded the zip file. Okay, so let me just go here. It's inside the downloads and here. So this is the zip folder that will be downloaded on the system. So let me just open this particular zip file, and inside here, so there are two things that you have to copy from this folder, that is this data folder and this requirement.txt file. So just click copy it and paste in your folder, whatever wherever you are working. Okay, so let me just go. So here, just paste it here. Okay, in your folder that you have created already. So this is the folder where we will be writing all the code. So once you copied these things, you have to install the required modules for this project. So all the required modules are already written in this requirement.txt file. You can see this is the name of the modules. So there are three main modules that we will install. That is the flask, this is the request module, and finally the twilio module. Now all these things, the rest of these things are just dependencies. They will be automatically installed when you install these three modules. However, you can just install them by running the requirement.txt file. You do not have to install all the modules manually. Just go to this address bar, type cmd, press enter, and here type pip install -r requirement.txt, press enter. It will install all the required modules. Okay, since I have already installed it, I'm not going to install it again. The next thing that you have to do is you have to create a Python file here. So remember, your file name should be main.py. So you can just create a file from Python, from command prompt, just like this, Python, then this sign, and then main.py, and it will create a main file on your system. Currently it's empty. You can just open it in any of your code editor. I will open it in Sublime Text. So here it is. Now let's move to the coding part of our project. Okay, there are three things that you should know in order to build this project. Remember, it's for beginners, so you do not have to worry about it. The first thing is Twilio, then the ngrok, and then the code, obviously the source code. Okay, so Twilio is, you can see, a kind of official partner of WhatsApp, and it helps us to create WhatsApp bots. So you can just create a free account of Twilio. What you have to do, you have to just go here, open link in new tab. You can just go here, and it will open the sign up page for Twilio. If you don't have any account on Twilio, you can just create here. You have to type first name, last name, email, and then password of 16 plus characters, and then you can just click start a free trial, and yes, you will be rewarded with $15 free. Okay, I was also rewarded, so you will get it too. So since I have already signed up here, I can just open my console. Okay, remember one more thing, after signing up, you have to verify your WhatsApp number. So you can just do this. So let me just open my Twilio console here. So here it is. Okay, so the next thing that we have to do is let it just get opened so I can show you. So when you sign up here, you will reach to a page which will be something like, let me just show you. Let it get opened. It's taking a little time, don't worry, but we'll be making Okay, by then what you have to do, you have to install one more thing, ngrok. Okay, so it's opened here. Let me just show these things. Okay, so see here, I have got, currently I have $14 since I have you can say I have used some by while building this bot. Okay, initially it was 15.5 something. So you will reach to a page like this. So what you have to do, you have to here, if you don't get the message that I am waiting for, just wait a second. So whenever you will open the console, you will reach to a page like this. But however, when you will sign up for the first time, you will reach to a page like something like this. Okay, I'm just going there. So it's inside the develop and then messaging, then try it out and then send a WhatsApp message. So whenever you will create this sign up for the first time, you will reach to a page like this, which will ask us to send a WhatsApp message on this particular phone number of twilio. Okay, so let it get open. So here is the page. It says set up your testing sandbox. Now here it has given a number, phone number. You have to save this phone number on your mobile phone. You can save it by any name, and then you have to send a WhatsApp message to this particular number, this particular code on your this particular number on WhatsApp. Okay. So let me just open my WhatsApp here. I have opened in browser. You can just do it the same thing from phone. Okay, it's not necessary. So see here, I have saved this phone number by the name Python WA bot. You can save it by any name. Okay, so the next thing that we have to do is we have to just copy this particular code, that is join dig-feature. Now this may be different for you. Just you have to copy this and you have to send this particular message to WhatsApp on this particular number. Okay, that is this number. So once you do it, it will say message received. You have to click next, send one way message. Now you can just click any of these three options. I will select verification code. Okay, so let it get open. Here type make a request and it will send a WhatsApp message to us on here. Okay, so you are all set. Your twilio code is this particular thing. Okay, so yes, we are good to go now. Now just click next two-way messaging. So here we have to send some message to us to this particular number. You can just send any message. Let's say I'm again sending hello. Okay, so once we do it, we will get an response from twilio. So yes, so we have sent the message. Now click send a reply and it will send a response to us here. So send a reply, make a request, and this will send a response to us. Yes, so this is the response. We are good to go now. Just click next, configure your sandbox. When you reach to this page, our twilio setup is complete. The only thing that is left is we'll be doing it in a minute. Okay, so we have completed it. The next thing that you have to do is you have to download an software for your for this particular project, that is ngrok. Just type ngrok on your web browser. Again, the link is in the video description. You can just go there and you can just click download. This is the website ngrok.com. You can just click any of this link here. Okay, again you have to sign up here, and then I have already signed up, so I'll simply type login here. So after login, you will get a page like this which says download for Windows. So you have to just download it for your operating system. You can just select any of this. Then you have to extract it. Once you extract it, it will look something like this. Here, let me just go here, and here this is the application. Okay, this is the zip folder, and when you extract it, you will get application like this exe file. So what you have to do, you have to just double click it, so it will open the ngrok command prompt like this. The next thing that you have to do is just scroll down from ngrok website, and you will get a page thing like this. So you have to copy from here ngrok or token, and you have to just copy this thing. Again, you don't have to copy this dot and slash. So once you copy it, just paste it inside the ngrok command prompt or terminal. It will say auto token saved. Again, this will be different for you. The next thing is we can just fire it up. That is, we have to type here ngrok http and 5000. Just press enter and it says connecting and it's online now. What you have to do, you have to just copy this URL that we are getting and paste it to the twilio sandbox, that is here. Let it get open. Just select all the thing. Sorry, if there is anything here, just remove it. Inside the when a message comes in, paste it. and in the end just append bot slash bot. Okay, once you do it, click save. That's it. Now our entire setup is complete, and now we can code our bot. Okay, so this is the entire setup. Now we can just focus on coding the bot. So first thing that you have to do is you have to import two modules. That is, the first one will be the request module. So let me just import the request module here. So we are the first thing that you have to do is you have to import request module. We have installed it previously. Then you have to type from flask import flask and then the request. Okay, so remember this is a different thing. This request is a different module and this is an entirely different module. Then you have to import from twilio. Now this is the official library of twilio, so twml. Now this is the language which twilio uses to access WhatsApp messages. Dot messaging response import. Here you have to type messaging response. This is a class and we have to import it. Okay, we are good to go now. The next thing that you have to do is you have to create an object of the flask. So you can just create it like this, flask, and here you have to type name. Okay, again okay, so whenever you create a chatbot or web application using flask, we initialize flask like this. Okay, so we are good to go now. Again, in the end you have to type if name equals main, which is something like this. Remember the double underscore and main, and here you can just type anything. Okay, whatever function you want to call, you can just call it. Okay, so currently I have just typed pass here. The next thing is that we are going to do is we are going to create a function, that bot. Okay, now this bot function will do all the job for us. Now remember, we have added a route here. So in the end, if you just go to the sandbox, if you just remember, we have added a slash bot in the end of the URL, that is ngroute.io slash bot. Okay, so we have to make this function connected to this particular URL. So we can connect this particular URL to a function like this, at the rate app.route, something like this. It will be app.route. Okay, remember, so app.route, and here you have to type the route, and our route is slash bot. Okay, so just type it like this, slash bot, and then here you have to pass a method, and our methods will be equal to this post. Now there are different type of methods like post and get. We are using the post here. Okay, so we are good to go now. Now we can just code all the things of our bot. Okay, we have nearly created our bot. The thing is, now we have to code the thing, all the things that we want to our bot to do. So the first thing that I want to is I want to make this bot access our WhatsApp messages. So incoming message, you can just give it any name. So incoming message equals there's a function that we can use, and that function is equal to request. Remember this request that we imported from flask. So request dot values dot get, and here you have to type body and otherwise nothing. Okay, empty message dot strip. Now what we have done here, this is a function that we are calling request dot values dot get. If you have any knowledge of dictionaries, we know that in dictionaries everything is stored as key and value, and we can apply the get method on the dictionary to get the value of any key, and if the key is doesn't exist, we will just return empty string. So that is what we are doing here. Okay, finally we are applying the strip method. It will remove all the spaces from the beginning and the end of the string. Okay, what we can do is we can just print the incoming message here to see what is coming from the WhatsApp. Again, we have to do few more things. If you are receiving some message, you have to return some message too. Okay, so currently we will create an object of our messaging response, that is this thing like this, and we will make it's something like this, msg equals response dot message, like this message. Okay, the final thing is you can just set the output of this message, something like this, msg dot body. Okay, so currently what I want to do is I want that whenever I send some message from WhatsApp, let's say I send any message to this particular bot, in return I want to get a response as hello. Okay, we are not coding anything manually here, we will just get the output as hello. Then finally we have to return the str of response, that is it. Okay, so this is the beginning of our bot. We have coded it and we can just now run this program. So you have to run this particular file from command prompt. So you have to just go here and open command prompt here, and then you have to type main.py file, press enter. It will initialize a flask server, and this server will run on 5000 port. So I think we have some issue, and the issue is here. Currently we have typed pass here. Okay, so nothing is running. Okay, so here we have to type app.run. That's it. Again run it, and now this will initialize our flask server. Now this flask server is running at port 5000. So as you can see, the flask is server is running at port 5000. Okay, so now we can just send some message to it here. So let's just send a message here. Let's say hello, and in response we will get hello just out at output. So we are getting hello as response. Also we have printed the incoming message, so here is the output. Again, if you just send some any message like this, again in the response you will just get the hello as return. So see, yes, so it's working fine. Okay, so it's looking good. We are now able to connect our program with WhatsApp now, and yes, so now we can code for you can say the coding part of our bot, which can run Python codes, okay, on WhatsApp. So this is the thing for this. So the next thing that we want to do is we have to create a file, but before that we have to create a folder here. Inside the folder, that is Python W8, here create another folder that will be equal to src. Now this src will contain all the folders for our Python code, for using which we can run Python on WhatsApp. So just create a new file here and save it inside the src folder here. Again, you can just give it any name. So I will give it a name as python repl.py. Okay, so here again you have to import few things. So import sys, then import lib. These are all modules are available by default. You do not have to install any of these. Import context lib, context lib. Then you have to import subprocess. Okay, all these are available by default. We do not have to install any of them. From IO, import string IO. So we are good to go now. The next thing is something like this. We will create a function that is def execute Python. What it will do is it will take a string as Python code, and it will return the output of this particular string. Okay, so it will take a string and or you can say an argument like this. It will take a code in string format, and it will just run this code. If I just type exec and code, exec is a function which helps us to run string codes. So if I just call this function, let's say execute Python here, and if I just give any Python code, let's say inside like this print hello world. Okay, so remember this is Python code, but this is in string format, and if I just run this program, you will see it will give us output as hello world. Okay, so it's working fine. This exec function you can use execute to execute Python codes. Similarly, if I type print 45 multiplied by 90, you can see it will return the output of this code. So it's working fine. Okay, the only thing is you can okay, so the thing is, though you are getting this output, the problem is you cannot return this output. You cannot return the value from this exec. So we have to think of some way by which we can return this value, so that we can send this particular value to WhatsApp. So there's one more thing that we have to do is we have to create another function, and this will be a special type function, and what it will do is it will just copy or return the value of our output. So manage it, you have to type it like this, context lib dot context manager, and here you have to create another function that is stdout io, and current stdout is equal to none. Okay, you do not have to understand this particular function, but just think it like this. It will return the output of this exec function, that is 4050, to our main file. That is all this function will do. Okay, we have to create few things here. Old equals sys.stdout. Now stdout represents standard output. Okay, so whatever output is on the screen, terminal, we just store it to the old variable. If stdout is equal to none, you can just type it like this. None, sorry. The next thing that we have to do is stdout equals string IO. Good to go now. The next thing is sys.stdout is equal to stdout, and then finally yield stdout. I hope you are not able to understand anything, but don't worry, you do not have to understand this particular function. And finally equals hold. So this is the entire function, and it will help us to return the value of this execute function to our main.py file. So what here we'll doing is we will open it like this with open with std out io. Now remember, this is a function that we have just created. Okay, so we are opening it as a construct manager as c try execute python like this, except return or print something wrong with this code. Print something wrong with this code. Okay, so something wrong this with this code. Finally we have to just return the output, and that will be returned like this: return c dot get value. Basically what it will do is, now we will be able to return the value of 4050 to our function, to our file. Okay, like this. So if I do something like this, if output equals execute python, now this is a function. Okay, execute python that we have created. It takes code, and in the output it will return us some value. So we can just type it like this: print output, and now as you will be able to see, this output is stored now in the output variable. Yes, so it works good. Okay, now we can just implement this thing in our Python code. Sorry, in this main.py file. So here we have to import our execute Python function. So we can execute it like this. That is from src. So from src, this is a folder name. Then we have to type a file name, that is python repl. Import execute python like this. Okay, and what we are just going to do is here, let's come here. Currently I am believing that whatever message is coming is Python code. Okay, so we can just do it like this. So we will create a variable like this: code equals incoming message. Sorry, we do not need this thing. We can just do it like this: output equals execute python, and we are just going to get the incoming message like this, and then we will make our message dot body equals output. So I hope you have a basic idea of what we are doing. Is basically we have just imported this particular execute function to our main file execute python. Now we have created call this function here execute python. Currently I am believing that whatever incoming message we are getting, it is a Python code. So we are just passing this Python code to this function, and this function will return us the output, and then we are setting the output is equal to msg.body. So if I just run this Python file now, so we have to restart our server. So we can just again run the main.py file. Okay, so if I just call main.py file again here, it will initialize the flask server once again. And now if I just send some Python code here, so let's see, if I send print hello world like this and send it, in return it will send me Python code. So let it get, yes, so it's sending us the Python code, sorry, output. So print 45 multiplied by 90. So again it will send us the output of this particular code. Print 45 multiplied by 90, and we are getting 4050. Okay, again we can just try some other things. Let's say for I in range 10. The issue with this is we cannot write it like this. So let me just write it here. If I just press the enter key, it will just send the message on WhatsApp. So I'm just writing it here, print I, and then I'll just copy this particular lines and paste it here. Okay, and if I press enter, you will see we will get the output. So for I in range 10, print I, and yes, we are getting the output. So it's working fine. So we are getting the output. So everything is good, everything is working fine. The only problem is we want to include chatbot in our Python code. Sorry, in this chat, we want to include a chatbot in this thing. So there are few amendments that I want to make. The first thing is there is possibility the thing that you are sending is not a Python code. So we have to check for it if it is a Python code or not. We will check it here. If incoming message dot starts with here I want to check if our string starts with hash and then python 3 like this. Okay, this is known as shebang line, and developers usually include it at the top of your file. Whatever file you are writing in Python, developers generally include it at the top here. Okay, and if our incoming message starts with this thing, we will believe that the next upcoming thing is a Python code. So then only we are just going to execute our Python code. Okay, like this. We will make it like this: code equals incoming message dot strip, and we will strip this thing from it. Now if you know string functions, strip is a function which removes anything which you pass here from the beginning or the ending. So if there's a beginning of the start of the string is like this, it will just remove it, and if the string ends with this particular substring, then again it will be removed. Okay, and then finally we are just going to make code. Instead of passing the incoming message, we are just going to pass code here, and we will again just make it msg.body output. That is it, and it will not much affect our program. It will again run the same. Okay, if you just try it once again, that is by running main.py file, you will see it will again be same. It will not be much different. Okay, so let it get executed. Let's say print 45 into 90. If I any code like this, you will see it will not do the same job for us. This time it will not give us output, because we have checked, we have created a condition here, or a code will be executed only when the string starts with this particular thing. So we have to code it like this. So just come here and let me just paste it here, and then again I will type print 45 divided by 5. So now if you code this particular string or code to your WhatsApp, then only this particular thing will be executed, otherwise no output will come. Okay, so if we just run this code now this way, we will get an output. So everything looks good. Okay, now again once again, if you want to send some code, you have to include this particular line at the top of your code, then only it will be executed by Python. Okay, or bot. The next thing that I want to include is I want to make a function for installing packages. So we can install it like this. We will create another function here, def install package. It will take a package name and it will install that particular package like this. Okay, so try. First of all, we will check if the package already is already installed on your system. You can check it like this: import lib dot import module, like this, module, and then you have to type the name of our package. Our package name is stored in the package argument, and then return. If it is true, then it means our Python package is already installed. So we can just return it like this: package already installed. Okay, again this is a f string, package already installed. That's it. Else, except. Okay, and if the package is not installed, we will get some error, and when we get error, we will automatically come to the except clause. So we can just install a package like this: subprocess, okay, dot check call. This is a function by which you can run Python commands on command prompt. So you have to type like this: sys dot executable, okay, like this. Then you have to type -m, then you have to type pip, then you have to type install, then you have to type your package name. Okay, so it will install the particular package on our system. So package, finally, again this package is a variable, and we can again return some output, that is package installed successfully. Okay, so I hope many of these things are just going to takes 1 second. Package installed successfully. Okay, so successfully. So yes, it works good now. Now we have to check if the code is for installing package. Currently we are checking if the code is for running a Python program. Now we have to check if it is for installing a Python package. Now I want to make the user that if you want to install some package, you have to type pip install in the beginning of your string. Then it will consider as a code to install a package. So we can just copy this entire code here, and here inside the elif statement we will make it like this. If the string starts with pip install, then the user will be install some package on our system. What you have to do is, first of all, you have to import this particular function to a file, that is install package. So let's just import it, install package, like this. So code equals incoming message dot strip python 3. Instead of it, we are just going to make it like this: incoming message dot split. Okay, so I hope you already know about the string split method. It's something like this. Let's say if there's a message like this, pip install numpy, and this begins with the particular exclamation mark. So what it will do is it will create a list with 3 elements. The first element will be this thing, the second will be this thing, and the third element will be this thing. So our third element stores the name of our package. So that is what we have to install. So we can get it like this, the split, and then we are just going to get access the last element, and we can access the last element of our list by -1 index. Okay, and instead of code, it will be name will be package. So package. Okay, again output equals install package. Instead of calling the execute python function, we are just calling the install package function. Here you have to pass our package name. That's good. Message.body will be equal to the output and return response of a string. So you can just restart this development server, and here you have to type main.py file. Again you have to type control C to stop your server, okay, running from it. So if we just do it once again and reinitialize our server, you will see we have some issue here, and that issue is inside here. I have typed this particular line here. Okay, so we can just do initialize our server once again, main.py file, and you will see we'll be able to run our bot once again. Okay, so yes, it has started. Now I can check pip install request. Remember, we have just installed it, so I can check it, and it will check if it is installed. If it is not installed, then it will install it. Okay, so since we have already installed it, it's saying request already installed. So this is how you can make your Python code run on WhatsApp using this particular bot. Again, I'm just going to modify a few things here. I'll create a variable that will be equal to this Python code. Here I will create a variable like this, is Python code. Initially I will initialize it with false, and if it's a Python code, we are just going to make this particular variable true. Okay, and finally, if this variable is true, that is, if Python code variable is true, then only we are going to return this string response. So our bot is nearly completed. The final thing that I want to include in this particular bot is a chat bot. Okay, I want to make this bot response for some other things. For example, if you ask for your name, you can just return the name of your whatever you set. Okay, so you can just do it like this. If incoming message, first of all, we are just going to make it lower, incoming message dot lower. Remember, I haven't called the lower method here because in Python it's possible that you type the code with capitals. For example, if you type some class name, that class name starts with a capital letter. That's why we haven't applied the lower method there. Otherwise the code will just get lowered and we will get an error while running the code. So after this, we do not have to keep the capital case of our code. So we are just going to make it lower. And now it's up to you whatever services you want to implement in your chatbot. For example, I want to check if your name is in a string. So in incoming message, suppose I am asking my chatbot what is your name. So you can just set it like this: output equals my name is whatever you want. My name is, let's say, PyGuru. Then finally you can just make it message.body, copy this line here, paste it here, and then again you to call this particular function. See what is this is, if this variable is true, our function will end here. These things will not be executed, okay? However, if this is false, then only these things will be executed. So we can just check for it now. So Control C, and if I just run my server once again, you will be able to see that I have an error here. Is Python code. Okay, here you have to write the if condition. If is Python code means if is Python code variable is equal to true. So main.py file. So let the servers get initialized, then we'll be able to send message to our bot once again. Okay, now, so here you can send what is your name, and in response it will just send that my name is PyGuru. Yes, so it's working fine. Then again you can just set for some other things like what is your age, like this. So we can just set it up here. If your age, so whatever your age is, you can just set it inside here. My age is 20, 21, whatever you want. So again we have to just reinitialize our server. Okay, once again you have to reinitialize your server only when you make some edit to your file. Otherwise you do not need to initialize it. Okay, that's it. And finally main.py file. So let it just get executed. So you can just ask what is your age here. What is your age? And in response this will now send us the age whatever we have set. Okay, my age is 20, like this. So it's good now. The next thing, I'm just going to create one more file that will be equal to services.py. Now this will contain some special functions that we want to execute. So you have to call see, there are a lot of functions that I have included, but I'm just going to show a few here only. So the only thing that I'll be showing you is two things. We will be able to crack a joke, or we will be able to make a request to a quote. We can just get some random quote or some random joke, and then we'll implement the chatbot thing. So here we are just going to define a function that is get joke. Okay, suppose if we want to get a joke. So we will create a function here, get joke, like this. What we will do is whenever we call this function, we will just get a joke. So there's a URL, and you can just copy that URL from here. Just go here inside the src folder, and then the services.py file, and you can just copy this particular line here. Okay, let me just copy all these things here. So this is basic API calling. We are not doing anything very high. Okay, so this is the API. You can just make a request to this, and in return it returns as a joke. So if I just call the get joke function, you will see we just get a random joke here. So if I just run this function, you will see we get a random joke here. So let it get executed. Yes, so interview, what is a skeleton? Means a skeleton is a person who start dieting but forget to stop it. Okay, so it's good, it's funny. We can just include this in our main.py file like this. If again we have to first import the services module, import src.services like this, services as services, and then here we can check if there's a joke substring in our incoming message. If joke in incoming message, then you can just call this particular function, output equals services dot get joke. This is the function name that we have just defined, get joke. It looks good, and we can just call it now. Okay, so we have to reinitialize our server since we have edited our main file. So main.py file, let's see if it's working fine or not. So if there's no error, we can just execute it now. So we can just send a message here. Can you crack me a joke? You can send whatever message, and whenever it has a joke substring in it, it will just send us a random joke. So yes, so we were so pure when I was growing up, you couldn't even afford to pay attention. That's funny, good. The final thing is that I want to include is there's a chatbot thing. Okay, currently we have not implemented chatbot. And see, again, there are a few more functions that I have defined, like get date, get time, get joke, get quote. You can just do these things. Okay, so first thing, for to set up this thing. Okay, so we are now just going to implement the chatbot. Now our chatbot will be again a simple API which can return answers to any of our questions. For this, we are just going to use Wolfram Alpha API chatbot. So you can just type Wolfram Alpha API on your Chrome here, and it will open the Wolfram Alpha API here. Just open this first link, computational knowledge integration, Wolfram Alpha API. So let it just get opened. Okay, so again you have to sign up here and just scroll down, and we are going to use this particular API, that is short answers API. There are a lot of APIs that you can use, like these are instant calculators, so steps, full results, conversational APIs. You can do whatever you want. If you want to make your API more chatbot more intelligent, you can use conversational API, but I'm just going to use this particular API, short answers API. Okay, it's good. Now the thing is that is here, if you want to make get started, you have to first say, it says to get started you must register Wolfram ID and sign into the Wolfram Alpha developer portal. Upon login to get my apps tag to start creating your first app, you have to create your first app there. You can just follow this particular thing, and then you have to get an app ID. Okay, you can just follow this particular tutorial to get the app ID for your thing. Okay, now the thing is now app ID will be a string which you have to you require in order to run this particular project. Okay, so let me, okay, once you get the app ID after signing up and go after going to this particular thing, and you after creating project, you will get a string app ID. When you get the app ID, you have to go to your project. So my project is inside, I think, YT, and here Python WA, and there's this data folder that we have copied initially from our zip file. Okay, so just open this credentials file in your Sublime Text, and here just paste your app ID. My app ID is this. If you want, you can use this particular app ID, otherwise you can just create your own app ID. Okay, so once you do it, we will now be able to get the chatbot running. Okay, so for this, what you have to do is, first of all, we will create a function, and let me just copy this particular function from here, def fetch API key, paste it here. So again, this is simple function name, def API fetch API key. It will take an string. Okay, now this string will be this thing, Wolfram Alpha. If we pass Wolfram Alpha to this function, in return it will provide us this particular output. Okay, so again, there are lots of APIs that you can include, and they use a kind of authentication. So you can just store all these authentication or API codes in this particular credentials.json file. Okay, there's one more file dedicated to storing credentials, that is config.cfg, but I haven't used that. Okay, so again, if you want to integrate weather in your WhatsApp chatbot, you can use open weather API. Okay, there are lots of, like, if you want to send images, you can just use Pixab API. There are lots of APIs, and you have to just store all of them here. Okay, what this does is, when you call this fetch API key function, it will return the output. Okay, so let me just call it here. Let's say if I call, okay, I'll just go to the else part here like this, and if I call this particular thing, let's say API key equals services, this is a file name, sorry, services dot fetch API key, this is a function name, and if I pass Wolfram Alpha here, Wolfram and Alpha, it will return me the API key of Wolfram Alpha. I can just print API key like this. So if I just run this once again, you will be able to see that it just fetches the API key and prints this. Okay, it currently does not do anything. Okay, So if I just send it some message currently to our WhatsApp bot, let's say hello, and let's see if it's initialized. Okay, so it's initialized. If I just send some message, it will just print the API key here. Name JSON is not defined, it's my fault. Here you have to import one more module, that is JSON module. Import JSON like this. Okay, so yes, it's good. Now you can just do the same thing again to print the API key. Again, just go here, and finally you have to just copy this particular function def chatbot. I'm not explaining all these things since it's out of our tutorial, but again this is simply a chatbot. It takes this is simply a function. It takes two things, the API key and a query, whatever query you want to ask. Then it makes a request to this particular URL. You can just copy this particular URL here, and here in the API key it passes whatever API key you have, and in the query it passes whatever question you have. Then we are just going to make a request to it, r equals request.get URL. Then we are just going to get the output of it, data equals r.txt. Again, if data is equal to Wolfram Alpha did not understand your output, we are just going to modify the output. Return couldn't understand the query, else we are simply going to return the data like this. Okay, so if there's an API key, we can just call it like this. If API key if API key equals none, you can just print a message that you have to create an account on Wolfram Alpha. Wolfram Alpha API needed. Alpha API key needed. Check docs. Okay, like this. However, if there's API key, okay, remember one thing, if you haven't stored this particular value, this function will return none. When you call this function, it says if there's an API key, it will return the API key. By default, it will return none. If there's no API key, it will simply return none. Else, we can just call this function, that is output equals services dot chatbot. This is your function name, and here we have to pass the API key and whatever incoming message we have. Incoming message. So it's good. Now we can just try it once again. So yes, so our project is complete now. So let's just run it once again. Main.py, and this time it should return the output. So it's working now. So if I have some question, let's say what is the distance between, okay, so between Earth and Sun. If I just send this question, in some time it will just send me the output. Okay, so again we have used a third-party API, that is Wolfram Alpha API. I hope if you are computer science student, you already know about Wolfram Alpha. It's a mathematical website. Okay, so about 0.992 astronomical units is working fine. Who is the president of India? And we can just send this particular question to it, and this will just send me the output. Okay, and then we can check for Ramnath Kovind since 25 July 2017. How are you feeling? Like this. Okay, so there's some issue here. Couldn't understand the query. It's correct because I have a spelling mistake here. So we can just paste it once again. How are you feeling this time? And this time we should get some answer from the chatbot. So I am doing well, thank you. And yes, so our chatbot is complete. Our project is complete. This is how you can create your chatbot with a special ability to run Python codes on your system. Again, if you want to run Python code, you have to start your message with this particular line, that is this particular line. If I just paste it here, and if I modify it here, let's say I want to subtract, or I want to make 78 mod 23, I can just run it, and this time it will run it as a Python code. Okay, so this is a kind of constructor, or you can say some kind of trigger which says that this is a Python code and it should be executed like this. So yes, this is it. Now when you run this program next time, you have to do these things. Just quit the ngrok. Again, just go to open your initialize. Whenever you you want to rerun this particular project, you have to initialize your ngrok, and here you have to type http, and then sorry, my fault, ngrok http 5000, press enter, and then you have to copy the whatever URL you get. Now I'm not going to publish this particular thing project, because just come here, okay, remove all the things here, paste it here, and then here you have to type /bot, and then you have to click save, and then your sandbox will be updated. Now you will be able to send the messages. You can just the only thing that you do is you have to just run your command prompt main.py file here. So main.py file, and again you will be able to start your server. Okay, now I'm not going to you can say publish this particular bot on Flask or any Heroku like thing, because I don't want to waste my this particular balance. Okay, so yes, this is it, and once again you can just say goodbye. And so if you love this video, leave a like or a dislike. If you're new to my channel, subscribe it. Thank you. See you in the next tutorial. Okay.